Hey everybody, my name is Paul Myers and I'm an aspiring indie game developer based in Chicago, Illinois. And this is my first development blog for Bolero Fantasy Tactics. It's actually my first game project I've worked on like ever. And I'm learning a ton of stuff about every aspect of game development. And I'm having a lot of fun. And the game is getting to a point where it actually looks like something. And I'm really excited to show it off to you guys. So to get into what the game is all about, if you've ever played a game like Final Fantasy Tactics or Fire Emblem, or more recently something like Into the Breach, yeah, it's like a tactical role-playing game where you have your set of allied units and you've got your opponents and you're trying to wipe them out. And I've always loved that kind of game, and I've always been really interested in like a deeper level of understanding of the mechanics. And I think to be successful at my game, you're gonna need that because it's pretty numbers heavy and it's not simple. I'll just say that. So let's look at the game as it is right now. All right, so here's my game. We've got our little units all spread out, and let's see. We're controlling a bandit right now, so let's move him to the other bandit and have him whack him with a sword. Simple enough, right? Bam, 7 damage. All right, and that's basically how the game works. We're done. No, I'm just kidding. It's a lot more complicated than that. So then we have this guy, and since he's actually right next to the guy and he doesn't have to move, he can perform more attack actions. Since you've got a pool of actions you can use during all of your turns. And so the bandit can actually make 3 attacks if he doesn't move at all. And so yeah, that's basically how the characters work. No, it's not. We've got the Guardian. He works completely differently. He checks who's within his range, and then he can jump to them. Let's jump to this guy since he took more damage. And now I can tell him to guard him. So if anybody's going to mess with this bandit, he's going to mess with the Guardian first. So let's see how that looks. I'm going to try to hit him. And nope, Guardian takes the damage instead. And that's the general idea behind the Guardian. And now the third class I'm going to show you is the Acolyte. And she plans her attacks ahead of time. So let's say I want to use Embers. So I'm going to choose where she moves first. And as I'm choosing where she's going to move to, it shows where I can direct Embers. And Embers is a pretty powerful attack, so it can hit all 5 of these tiles. So let's set it to hit this guy, and you can see, yeah, her perform the attack, and bam, it hits all 3. That's the general way my game works. Every class has a different way that it functions, and hopefully I can tutorialize it so it's not too much for players to wrap their heads around. But I think I've made it so that it's pretty intuitive, and I need to make a lot more UI because everything I have here is placeholder. The general structure is down, but I need to make it look a lot better. So in addition to that game flow being pretty much done, I've programmed it, I've done a couple other features too. At any point when you're playing the game, if you're like, I feel like it's hard to see what's happening. They're bunched up. They're too close together. You can actually press the perspective change key, which I've set to P right now. And that actually just changes the orientation of the level. It sort of looks like it's rotating, even though I'm just scaling the 2D sprite so that it looks that way. And in addition to that, the one major UI element I've made so far is the turn order bar at the bottom of the screen. And that will show where your character's turn will come up. And accordingly, the more actions you take during your turn, the longer it will take for their turn to come back up. So one move action sets him to the 3rd place. Another move action sets him to dead last. So for my game, I'm going to be making devlog videos for each of the different classes. And for this one, I'm going to focus on the bandit class. So my sort of cursory explanation from before didn't actually cover the way he inherently works. So there's something called recovery time, and all of the actions that I mentioned from the action pool incur some amount of that. And for the bandit, all of his actions take the same amount of recovery time. And for right now, it's 6. And you see with this little info bubble at the bottom there, it's based on what weapon he's equipping. And that includes his movement actions. So since each tile takes 2 RT, that means with each of his 6 RT actions, he can move 3 tiles. So as you can see, that's 3 blue, and then 3 purple, and then 3 red. And that has set his RT that he spent to 18, and that's out of a total 20 maximum he can spend on each of his turns. And so that means he can't make another 6 RT action. And he will be set to the back of the turn order, and yeah, his turn. If you use close to your max, then that means you're going to be placed behind everybody else, usually. But it also means if you take less movement actions, that means you can actually use more of your actions on attacking. So let's move our guy right next to the bandit and use your weapons skill, which is slash. And yep, the guardian has pretty high defense, so it only dealt 5 damage. And so we moved 2 move actions and 1 attack action, and that's brought us back up to 20, or 18, I should say. So along with the weapons default weapon attack skill, which is what I've been referring to it as, the DWA, which is slash for this weapon, you have your class abilities, which are reckless blow, grapple, and shove, which this class's command type is brawl. So let's use reckless blow, and that's basically exactly like your weapon's default skill, except it does a little more damage, but you actually take some damage, and the accuracy is a little lower too. Like, see, instead of 5 you dealt 7, but you took 2 damage back. So yeah, a little risk reward action there. And then we have 2 non-damaging skills, grapple and shove. What grapple does is you sort of jump on the guy and use up some of their RT. So see, it says stun is 7. That means you're going to stun them for 7 RT, and that makes their turn come up later. So you used up 6 of yours to give them 7. So theoretically, you could delay their turn forever, except that there is a accuracy, and the as you can see here, it's only 56. So it's pretty easy to miss. So you just used up 6 and didn't do anything. So I hope that provides some strategic depth for like delaying an enemy's turn when they're a lot stronger than you, so that your weaker character, you're basically using a weaker character to stop a stronger character from doing anything. But you know, it's all stuff I need to be balancing out. And the last skill I'm going to show is the bandit's shove ability, which, as you might have guessed, you can see the push direction will be down. It has the same accuracy as grapple because it's the same sort of close combat interacting with them. Well, it missed, so let's try it again. And it missed again. Oh, this is not ideal. Oh, there we go. 1 damage, and you pushed them off the ledge. So, as you might imagine, that's useful for spacing, and if the guardian's guarding someone and you shove them, they actually stop guarding them because they're no longer right next to them. So I'm hoping this provides a lot of strategic depth to the way you can use the bandit. He's got a lot more applications than just dealing damage. So yeah, thanks for taking your time to look at my video and your interest in my project. In the future, I'm going to be making more of these videos, and I'm probably going to go over the Acolyte class next, and then the Guardian, and I'm going to be putting these videos out pretty regularly, maybe one or 2 a week. And in addition to that, I'm going to be updating my Twitter right here, and also I'll be streaming on Twitch. It's just my name, Paul Myers. Right here. It's going to be really exciting this summer. I'm going to try to make a bunch of progress. Right now I'm working on a better UI, which I'm pretty much throwing together in Photoshop before I program it, and it's coming along. It looks really good, a lot better than what it looks like right now. So yep, I'll keep you guys updated. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll update and I guess subscribe to this channel on YouTube. To what did I sell? Subscribe, comment, hit the bell for notifications. Okay, that's it for this video. Tune in next time.